on it. They're going to know the map. But as you mentioned just before we kind of headed off to the break, the confidence that Legates are going to be having going into Nuke is going to be kind of at that new form. It's going to be at that like upper level. And it's going to be very tough for Vitalize to try and punish that, because when you have a team playing with confidence, they're going to be swinging those angles. They're going to be taking those aggressive fights when you're not really used to it, when you're not really ready for it, because of the fact they won that first map so dominantly.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to watch in terms of that. Obviously, if we do get to a third map, that will be Overpass.
Yep.
That'll be another really great one to watch between these two teams, especially the AWPers there. This map's going to be heavily about the rotations. I think the in-game leaders are going to play such a massive, massive part of this game. It's going to be interesting to see how they are able to control these rotations. Nuke's a map where if you do lose an early kill on that CT side, you've really got to restructure and reorganize your sort of troops, as it will. And that's not easy to do, especially in these pressured situations when the game can be very close now. It's a little bit worrying to do because you've got to give up control somewhere, ramp, whether that be outside, towards A site. And that's going to be where the in-game leaders are going to have to really step up. So it's going to be interesting what side will be saying it. Who will we be talking about at the end of this game? We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, definitely. And obviously, we kind of in the last Nuke game that we saw, it wasn't CT dominated. It was the Ts that really were showing kind of that dominance, and they were setting the tempo. And I feel like that's quite a scary prospect here for this Vitalize side, because if Legates set the tempo on the T side, if they go for those kind of maybe a little bit more aggressive plays, they kind of win the pistol. Things could be a little bit tough here for Vitalize, because they need to be on the front foot instantly, because all it takes a couple rounds on that T side. We talk about the pistol having a lot of importance. We're expecting maybe a 9-6, 10-5. If Legates can find some early rounds, it's looking dangerous here for Vitalize.
Fred, let's have a quick look at the vetoes that we have got for this map again, though. Obviously, we did get to see Inferno, which we did see Legates take that one in a 16-9, I believe. So a pretty dominant fashion. Nuke is what we have now, and like I mentioned earlier, Overpass will be that decider if we do get there. But Legates certainly have the possibility. They have every chance to be able to close this one out 2-0.
Yeah, and I feel like they're on their own map pick. You know, they're going to be very confident. But I feel like Overpass, we were expecting it. We saw it, you know, quite a lot in the group stage. We were kind of ready for Overpass to be played. And I think it's because Overpass, as we've kind of mentioned in our last couple games, it's not a map, it's quite generally not going to be seeing a team's insta-ban. It's not going to maybe be a team's most confident map, so that's why we have it kind of in that third place. But I have to reiterate here, Vitalize picking Inferno, it is very risky, and we saw the impact of that. So hopefully they can kind of restabilize, and then we go to Overpass, because I'll be honest with you, Charlie, love to see a game go all three maps, and what a comeback it would be for Vitalize to win this one.
I mean, yeah, like you said, Vitalize, they are going to need to restabilize, and they have to do it as quick into Nuke as possible, really. Otherwise, yeah, they'll be dropping down into Inters, Fred. Yeah. And that'll be their chance to win EPIC done right here, right now, and they're certainly not going to want that. They're going to want to have come in today with a bit more positivity. It's still possible. But obviously, the way Legates played, it's not going to be easy for them to really be able to shut them down, but they have to find a way. That's going to be the storyline. Can they overcome this sort of turbulent time? Inferno is a map that they're not really going to want to look back on with too many fond memories, but Nuke is really where it's all going to come down to.
Yeah, but I think as well, Charlie, something that Vitalize will be looking at in the break is let's stop making those little mistakes, because they were so huge. And hopefully, Charlie, we won't be seeing them in this game, but it's kicking things off now. We're going into it, the pistol round. Vitalize going to be starting on that CT side as expected, obviously, as this is Legates map pick, but such an important game here for Vitalize. As you mentioned, if they aren't successful here, Inters will be where they lie.
Yeah, Jawley's bought out once again, Fred. Vitalize seem to love these weapons, but going for a very early peek, and it's not worked out particularly successful. But Reese here as well. But Regan, Fred, with the triple, make that a 4 now.
He's going for the ace.
Yeah, there's a possibility. This is why these Jawleys were invested. It looked like a bit of a question mark early with all the kills were going the way of Legates, but now it's Rayman to clutch this out 1 versus 2.
Yeah, no armor as well, so once Regan spots him, I feel like it could be a quick kill. It's going to be tough here. Rayman trying to piece together the puzzle of where these final 2 remaining players lie. But it's Fraser Regan. This is not going to be a kind of an easy clutch, especially because they got control of the bomb. Rayman trying to drop silently. Not successful, though.
I'm not sure if they would have heard that.
Yeah, they're quite far away.
Yeah, it's a possibility. I mean, it's heading towards Squeaky Door, so going to definitely make the audio cues known now.
Oh, but Fraser steals away the ace. And the first round, the pistol goes the way of the Vitalize side, necessary for them. They potentially have kind of put Inferno out of their mind.
Yeah, I mean, Regan, that's going to be a great round just for confidence alone. Obviously, I don't think he's going to really have cared about the ace, just winning the round and had so much impact individually himself. So, yeah, give yourself a pat on the back there, because there's going to need to be a lot more when that comes from. Forced by out for Legates. Looks like they want to pop towards A, but the sheer number of mollies might force them back. Oh, just spammed with the Tech 9 through the smoke. Fraser trying to see what he can do. He's somehow snuck in behind.
Oh, but he's been spotted, and he's going to get crunched on, surely. 2 players coming here. Fraser finds the first quite comfortably, but will get traded out. Zeth finally emerges. It's the 2M4s. They bring it to a 2 versus 2. Although the opening 2 picks win the way of Vitalize, of Legates, Vitalize are the ones to clutch it out. Zeth, so impactful there. 1 versus 2 for him. Kind of reminds me of the one he got on Inferno as well, but brilliant stuff there. Vitalize somehow restabilize, and they keep themselves in the lead.
Yeah, Zeph's got to be a player that, even on Inferno, it felt like he was one of the few players on Vitalize who were still having a lot of impact. I think he probably finished top of Vitalize's scoreboard. Definitely felt like it was. Had so many important kills, so many multi-kills. Doing it once again in a 1 versus 2 situation. Does win out the round and continues to allow Vitalize to sort of hang on to this game. But Legates, they are going for a little bit of investment, half by around this AK.
Yeah, Biggin going to try and be the controlling factor here for the Legate side. Okay, on this Tech 9 once again finds an opener. And he wants to try and sneak down vent. Here's smoke pin pulled, but Reese finds him. Fraser already down towards B, and Zeph by his side. This is going to be very strong hold here. And there it is. Biggin only able to find 1 with that AK. That's the bomb drop. The final player being Fanui. Won't even be able to find Reese as he kind of clambers down the ladder. 3 players surviving there for Vitalize, and they do find their 3rd round as well. Biggin potentially just going to have to be on a Galil in this round. But Legates haven't found a round yet. First real 4x for them. Let's see what they can put up.
Yeah, what if that's been...
Rayman searching for something towards outside, but Regan will eliminate. That's an important kill to find.
Yeah, 1 HP on Fanui. I mean, it's barely clinging onto life red, but Legates, important round. They do still have limitations. Obviously, we saw the slight investment last round. They can certainly win this. The Galil invested.
Bit of util sent outside from Fraser. Obviously, Fanui still being very low HP. Potentially, we should switch that Galil over to him, but we've got no more damaging util on the side of Vitalize. So, Fanui, it's going to come down to gunfights, and we know how strong this individual is with that AK. So, clean headshot could be all they need.
Yeah, they do know that Reese is actually trapped towards this single vent position, but I don't think they're going to fight it too much. They're aware that backup could arrive, and Fraser from the ramp room.
Fraser and Earl, they've both taken lobby now. Reese has rotated down vent. Oh, timing is devastating. Struggling to find a pick. We do have 2 players down towards B, though.
I mean, this round could really end either way. Time's massively ticking, and the way it goes is surely going to be Vitalizes now. The bomb's dropped towards Ben. Reese with an easy kill there, and it's all on Biggin.
Oh, he's going to be aware of Reese there. Drops in the vent, but Reese always going to find that kill. Vitalize, they kick off Nuke very nicely here. That's a 4-round lead. But Charlie, this is exactly what we saw in Inferno, and then it was a bit of crumble time, I guess you could call it.
Yeah, I mean, 4-0 lead is exactly what did happen for Vitalize, winning the first full buy as well. But this one seems like a bit of an easier round to win. It is just a partial investment once again for Legates, but yeah, you obviously mentioned the early T side on Nuke about how strong it could have been for Legates. Haven't found that initial success, but the push towards ramp could be where they yielded. This smoke drop from Zeph gives so much room to play with. Finds a double, does a decent bit of damage as well, but mainly delays enough time for Ol to rotate in. Does find 1, fumbles a bit.
But look how quick these rotations are. The bomb's going to struggle to go down. Bracy does find one before trading, and Reese pushes through the smoke and finds K.
Yeah, I think he got jump scared a bit there. Had to go for the jump, make sure he doesn't get knifed. But either way, 5-0 start for Vitalize. Yeah, very reminiscent of Inferno, but they cannot let this one slip away like they did that.
Yeah, obviously, Nuke being a much heavier CT-favoured map, Vitalize, we're expecting them to look strong here on the CT side, but potentially they could, you know, keep things going here. Because obviously, we mentioned the importance of this game for this Vitalize side. If they can keep this success on Nuke, what's to say they can't come back into this one? The flashbangs are perfect. K does find the opener, but Reese, they line up, he gets a double. And Reese searching for more, he's found 3 so far, looking for the 4th, but Biggin trades, and Biggin with a double, and Fanui finds 1 as well, but Zeth once again, a 1 versus 2 for him to clutch out. The nade will land on Fanui, will send a Molotov as well, he swings on out, but Fanui able to best Zeth. Once again though, Vitalize, they nearly won it, and it would have come off the back of a Zeth 1 versus 2, but Fanui, very clean on that. So Legates, they post up their first round.
Yeah, important one at that. 2 Mac-10s invested, Fred.
Charlie, look at the economy of Vitalize. Hardly anything in
dwindled
the reserve.
Massively. I mean, yeah, they've got limitations themselves. UMP, MP9, this could be a fast pop towards A, towards the vent. They've got so many Macs, and there's the first Mac-10 ringing true. Crazy finds 1, but Reese once again towards the back of the bomb site. And look how aware Vitalize are for these fast A's. They've got so many players here.
Yeah, Fraser on the AWP here towards Rafters. Simple shot there. And Vitalize, nice recovery. Yeah. But once again, Charlie, it was Reese on the back of the bomb site.
I mentioned yesterday, Fred, when we watched Nuke then, I did say one of the ways that the T's in sort of recent times on Nuke have really found most of their success have been towards these fast A-pops you see at the top level. I mean, you see at every level, really. And we saw it there, but Vitalize, they're so ready for it. Their protocol to get so many players towards that back bomb site, towards Rafters, wherever it may be, it worked out perfectly. Legates, they sent everything out that and only found 1 kill.
It was kind of a perfect call as well for them to make. Reese was on, Fraser was on the AWP, and sometimes a fast A can be the perfect counter to having, you know, the AWP in play. Not only is it tough to rotate in, but also to try and have that impact towards the A bomb site with the AWP in hand. But no, Legates really struggled, and it was Regan and Reese on the bomb site that really shut everything down. We are seeing Legates though shifting behind this smoke. The third smoke has just faded, but they didn't spot anything. And it will be Biggin still here towards lobby, potentially just going to try and find a pick, sell a bit of a fake, but I think that drop must have been heard. And now the steps are being made. Zeth going to be rotating down towards B very quickly. Players going to be emerging out of double doors here. Zeth, nice opener. Biggin does find 1 on the A-bomb side. The flash is good, but Reese still finds 1. He's going to drop himself down towards B. A 3 versus 3 here, but the utility not perfect for both sides. But the HP certainly favouring the side of Vitalize.
Yeah, just be the positioning, that Legates will need to come out on top of, but Reese has been a menace on Nuke so far, Fred. Rayman 1 versus 3 finds the first. Reese brought down very low, but Regan finishes off Rayman. Yeah, Reese, Fred, he's played unbelievably.
Yeah, he's had a lot of impact here on Nuke. Clearly a map, he's one of his favourites, and it's so clear to see why.
Yeah, another multi-frag there, 2 kills in that round. Great stuff from him. If he can keep this up, maybe Legates won't have much of a say on their own map at all.
Yeah, and potentially that's all they needed. I feel like Vitalize, they had their moments on Inferno, but it wasn't consistent. Whereas now, Reese putting up the numbers every single round, whether it's a fast A-pop, whether they decide to go down towards B, it seems as though Vitalize, they call upon Reese to be a bit of a hero, and we're seeing it very, very successfully here.
Plenty of Molotovs towards his A bomb site for now.
Oh. Might try and creep his way towards Squeaky. Has got close vent with this MP9. Searching for a pick in the gap of the smoke, but hasn't found anything yet. But Charlie, look at Reese's positioning. Right now playing on top of Silo. Certainly going to catch off any aggressors towards 8. And he has. Rayman brought down to 1 HP. And there's the nade coming through. Great stuff there from Reese. Fraser finds K towards outside as well. So a 5 versus 3 here for Vitalize. And what a response. We mentioned potentially the confidence that Legates have will be enough to bring things to a 2-0. But this This round's not all said and done yet, though. But once again, it's Reese on the A-bomb side to find a pick. Regan as well in main takes down Pracy, and it's all on Fanui here. But Reese is hungry for more, looking for a frag hit, and it's going to be a very tough clutch here for Fanui.
Yeah, 3 kills to find. So much control within the CT's hand, and Zeph is going to be the first to be tested towards ramp. Fanui can't even fire a bullet off. Zeph takes him down. The half has officially been won now from Vitalize, and a great start from them. Yeah, you mentioned it. A-bomb site, well, in general, the whole map, it feels like Legates can't find a kill anywhere. They try to go searching, but most of the time they get punished. It feels like there's no real safe haven where they can consistently really even contest going for a kill. We saw it where Reese was tested towards top silo, takes down the first. I believe that was Rayman. Yeah, he doesn't really have much say in it, but ramp is going to be the port of call now. Fraser on the AWP already has so many bodies around him, finds absolutely nothing, Fred.
That's devastating from Fraser. I feel like in those situations, we're used to seeing him find maybe 1, 2, and even 3 kills, but Zeth rotating in will find one. Fanui with the trade. It's a 3 versus 2 here, but Earl with a lot of utility. Similar story for Regan. Pracy on the AWP now, holding towards ramp, and the Gates trying to get themselves in a nice little post-plant position with 2 players towards control, and Pracy a little bit trapped here towards Toxic. AWP in hand as well. Certainly not the weapon I'd like to wield from that position, but Regan finds one. Great swing from Earl as well, and now it's all on Fanui. The bomb is planted for him, but as I mentioned, a lot of util on these individuals, and the smoke's not even needed as Regan will take him down. What a retake there from Vitalize. Obviously, it was just a half buy from Legates. That's why we saw that lack of utility and a slight lack of weaponry, but 2 versus 3 on that retake there, and Vitalize, they win it very comfortably.
Yeah, I mean, the turnaround that we're seeing right now from Vitalize compared to Inferno, it's really night and day. This doesn't feel like the same team. This feels like a much better drill team, much better practice team. And yeah, what we're seeing really is great from 9-1 start.
Obviously, though, we mentioned a map like Nuke, very, very CT-sided, so the Gates, they've still got a chance back into this. You know, if they can find maybe 4 more rounds, it's not all too bad. And I feel like as well, an 11-4, they're not out of it yet.
I mean, that's what Vitalize have to make sure they can really work on. They've had a great start to this game, but you've got to make sure you have just as strong a finish. You don't want to sort of get complacent now. You've done all the hard work. This is where you can't just ride this out. You've got to keep up the pressure. Force Legates on as little T rounds as possible so you have as easy a time when you do switch to the T half yourself. But Fraser finding the first. There's the pressure that I wanted. Reese taking down one of his own. This is a full by Fred. And within 20 seconds, less than that even, the Gates have already lost 2.
Okay, they're trying to find 2, but will go down to Zeth. It's a 5 versus 2 already. Vitalize, great stuff there. And this is the impact that we're kind of expecting from Fraser. Goes for a peek towards main, finds the kill, and then instantly rotates ramp. It allowed to kind of some pressure to be taken off Zeph, and that's where he found the kill. But brilliant stuff there from the side of Vitalize. A 10th round surely on the cards for them, especially as we see Regan take down Rayman. It's all on Pracy, 1 versus 5. Nice tap to take down Regan. Going to try and drop a smoke to deny vision. Flashbang coming over as well. Not an easy fight to be had, though. There's a player on top of Silo. Pracy, I doubt he's going to be aware of it. Does spot Earl. And this is exactly what I mentioned. Fraser, though, does take him down, but that could have got a little bit dicey there, Charlie.
Yeah, I mean, it's got a lot more costly than it needed to be. 2 players fall in the 1 versus 5, but I mean, it certainly could have been worse. Double digits hit, though, from Vitalize. That was, like I mentioned, the full buy from Legates. Limitations certainly going to be seen. In fact, they've got a decent amount of AKs with util behind it. They do have the Deagle, though.
Yeah, obviously, that's the costly impact of bringing out the AWP, and Fanui really not having that impact. But big and nice opener. It is Reese the full. And Charlie, look, 17-5 Reese is. And I feel like that's the first round that he's made a mistake. I don't even think it was a mistake. He went for a squeaky peek, just got shut down by a bit of an off angle.
I mean, there's 2 people holding him. It felt like they were very ready for it. 4 versus 3 in Legate's favor, though. It feels like it's been a long time since they've been the ones in the man advantage situation.
Regan is slowly pushing up Secret. Ooh, spotted Rayman. Can't take him down, though.
Yeah, this round had a bit of a double look towards it. Didn't really believe that he spotted him the first time, but Fred is all gone wrong.
Yeah, team kill coming through. 2 frags found from Vitalize. And it's all on Rayman now. Was that 4 versus 2 at one point? I believe so.
It must have been, yeah. That's
devastating.
That's really devastating. That is an unbelievable way to lose the round. The team kill. Vitalize finding 2 at the same time. Legates in a bit of a world of hurt now. 11-1. You mentioned you felt like 11-4 is possible for Legates and gives them enough breathing room to make the comeback possible, but they need to find these 3 remaining rounds. Otherwise, surely Overpass will be played a lot sooner than we all thought.
Yeah, and I feel like it just goes to show the real impact that starting on that CT side can have. Reese playing on top of the silos once again on the A-bomb site. Deals a little bit of damage to K. And I feel like Reese, he's got a great understanding of when you can go for those pushes into Hut and when you can take those aggressive plays. And I feel like that's what's been a real detriment to this Legate side. It's always been Reese having that slight inkling. Hasn't worked out all too well in this one, just as I'm kind of praising him. He does get taken down for a bit of a Hut push. Nice from Regan, though. Not only does he find a kill, inflicts a lot of damage to Precy. And Earl in a great position here. Just going to try and tuck himself away. Oh, searching for a pick. Does find one. Could get Precy as well, but the trade comes through. 11 HP on Precy. And Zeth, he's aware that Biggin was still towards lobby, so still holding ramp.
Yeah, health definitely does favor Vitalize in this one, but still 3 versus 3. I mean, we've seen what players like K can do. Even on 5 HP, continues to find frags. That's what he did on Inferno.
Yeah, Legates, though, they need to win this round. As you mentioned, so many situations haven't really gone their way, and it was a level playing field initially, but Fraser eliminates Biggin, and we're seeing the T's slowly progress down towards B. They've taken control of Secret. Doors have opened, and oh, that's Fraser again, and Zeth by his side. Vitalize find 12, and Charlie, this is slipping out of Legate's hands a little quicker than they expected, because 12 already on the CT side. If Vitalize, even if they don't win a single, another round here on the CT side, they win the pistol on the T side, the game's completely over already.
I mean, already, Fred, you'd be looking at this and say, would you be happy with a 12-3?
I think most people
I think
would.
any team would be happy with a 12-3 half on Nuke, but
especially after a convincing loss on Inferno. You know, they've done a great job to battle back, but ooh, Regan on the back of the bomb site with a lot to do here, but he does go down. Finds 2, but it's now on Fraser and Zeth. Second last round of the half here. And I love this smoke from Fraser. It's the fake heaven smoke. He is obviously towards Garage. It's one that I love to pull out in my own gameplay. Definitely doesn't work out too much, but let's see if it works out for Fraser.
Yeah, this is going to be a very interesting call here from Vitalize. I think they're going to give it a go just due to how confident they would be, but their money's pretty drained. They might actually have to save that all from Fraser. I don't think that's going to be able to be retrieved at all, but Zeth had a 1v2 this game. Wants to do one better.
Crazy just swinging out, though. Vitalize. Seems as though that's the first round that the A site has been cracked in quite some time.
Especially from the fast A's.
It was because Reese got caught off. Regan still found 2, but it was that kind of the Reese double that we were lacking there. But Vitalize, they're still 12-2 up. They can lose this last round. Doesn't really matter, but they're certainly going to want to take it.
Yeah, round 15 underway now.
Already got a player on top of main. He's jumping through. Oh, they're back to back. K will find Regan. Nice opener here, and that might force their hand to go towards A. But Reese getting caught out there. Biggin finds Earl as well, and it's a 2 versus 5 here in the final round of the T side. Where was this performance from Legates earlier? This is exactly what they needed on that T side. Zeth does a good job to find one. Deals a lot of damage to the bomb carrier, but not enough right now. Fraser could spell disaster as he hits a double, but goes down to K. 3 kills in that round for K, a lot of impact, but Legates only able to find 3 on the T side. A necessary CT pistol for Legates just to keep them in this game, but it's very, very they're very far out of this one, Charlie, aren't they?
Yeah, it felt like we finally saw the Inferno Legates that we expected we're going to be able to transition that into Nuke, but we only really saw it for the last 2 rounds of the half, Red, and that's just not enough. 12-3. You mentioned the pistol round. If Vitalize win this, surely that's near enough game done.
Yeah,
Inferno, overpass, sorry, here we come, but
Fanui on top of Hut here. Ooh, struggling to find the opener, does find one, and now he's tapping away at range, but goes down to Regan, and Earl finds a pick as well, and Vitalize. They've done so well to restabilize after that Inferno game. Pracy on the back of the bomb site will find 1 second as well. He's got the chance for the clutch, and the 1 versus 3 from Pracy keeps Legates in this one.
Yeah, such a needed clutch there from Pracy. Legates needed a hero, and he delivered. Quiet on Nuke so far, but that round's loud.
They're finally making some noise in the server, and the team certainly making noise here in the arena, because that is an amazing clutch for Pracy to win.
I mean, it needed one if there's any chance that Legates can win this one 2-0.
Rayman, double kills in his sights, but he's only able to find 1. And now it's the Famasa Biggin that's working its magic. Very clinical there as he gets 3. Obviously, Fanui chimed in for 1 with the scout as well, but Legates, this is going to be potentially the most important round of their whole series, Charlie. They're against a full bite. They've got fairly weak weapons. A loss here could be disastrous.
Yeah, we've seen a few comebacks right at Epic Land so far. Imagine if this could be. I mean, imagine how heartbreaking that would be from Vitalize. Turn things around, 12-1 up, and can't convert it, but a long, long way away from there so far. Pause has been called. Legates. I mean, look at the weapons that they've got. Limitations is a bit of an understatement, but they are going to be playing with a bit of a bonus round. 2 MP9s, the FAMAS, and a Scout. Only 1 defuse kit for now.
Yeah, obviously, Rayman's M4 going to be the clear kind of difference maker in this round. But yeah, as you mentioned, Charlie, it would be absolutely devastating for Vitalize to not close this out. We're expecting an overpass, but Legates, have they got the mental fortitude to bring this one back? Guess we'll find out in a couple rounds.
Yeah, Vitalize 5 AKs. They did eat here in the last. They wanted to get these weapons out as quick as possible. They want Nuke to be done.
Let's see what they can do with these weapons, though. We see the smoke dropped for a bit of a vent drop, but nothing pushed through yet. We have got Earl down secret, though. Crept his way outside. Nice stuff there. A lot of pressure going to be put on this Legate side now, with the knowledge there's a player already down B. Fanui wanted to reposition a bit. Dodges the flashbang. Misses the first shot, though. Pracy can't fall here. Trying to back away, but he finds Earl. An important kill to find. It gives them the man advantage. Going to drop the molly as well. Raymond finally comes alive here with the M4 in hand. Pracy has been spotted. Bomb going down now towards the B-bomb site. And they're going to be searching for Pracy, hunting him down. Zep does find him. K, though, with the trade. 4 versus 2 here. And Reese and Fraser to try and clutch this one out. An important round for them to find.
Reese does find the first. Fraser takes down Rayman as well. Fred, this is a 2 versus 2 now. It's the Scout and the MP9. Fanui does find 1. Crucial kill to grab, but K, such a menace on Inferno. Hasn't had the success, but look how low these 2 players are. Fraser, this is a clutch he will win. Surely, no, but K shuts it down. Does he have a kit?
He does. I believe he's got time as well. Brilliant stuff there from Legates. I believe it was a 4 versus 2. Reese and Fraser making it look possible, keeping us on the edge of our seats. But Legates somehow take it, and Fanui finding that scout shot onto Reese a second before getting heavily chipped down. So important there.
I wonder if Fraser could have just stayed tucked there if he won the round, because time wasn't, certainly wasn't something that Legates had on their side. Maybe 1 or 2 seconds is all they had extra on that bomb, so I wonder if Fraser could have stayed tucked. One of those calls that in the situation you're never really going to be able to hold your nerve for, but
crossing outside without that second smoke, very risky. They'd lose a player on the cross, but they find one for their troubles as well. Biggin playing from second vent gets a double. Zeth does find K in the process, but 2 versus 3 now, and Vitalize, only 1 flashbang remaining. It is on Reese. They're going to be planting down towards B here, and Legates just going to take this one slowly. They've got the man advantage. I'd say the weapons as well, because Fanui on the AWP, we've seen what he can do with it, and they have got the util on their side. They just need to play this one slowly. They can take their time here. Biggin has a diffuser, so they really don't need to kind of rush this at all.
Yeah, all 3 players are coming from the ramp position.
Nades towards the back of the bomb site, but Regan always going to get mollied off. Forced to swing here. Will go down in the final player, obviously being Reese. The doors have been open. They're aware of his position. The plant position's quite an off angle. We need to see Pracy get on the bomb suit. He does find the kill, though.
Yeah,
I don't
he's
think
on
it's
the round,
enough
Fred.
time. Brilliant stuff from Reese.
Yeah, of course it was Reese, Fred. Surely, but certainly mistakes were made in that one from Legates. It felt like they weren't exactly sure who was getting on the bomb. They weren't aware where it was planted. Too many mistakes. Communication, it felt that it was off.
Yeah, definitely. And I feel like with such a kind of an off-angle plant spot, potentially just stop a smoke on the door. I believe they had a smoke.
I think they only had flashbangs left.
Either
They
way,
might
though.
have even used them all.
It was a 3 versus 1 at one point, Charlie. I feel like Reese, it's always going to be a troublesome round for him to win, but Zeth with a nice double gets his third, but Vigan will get the trade. He gets 2 in that round with a P250, in fact. They need to be a bit cautious here of Pracy, because obviously Vitalize, yes, they've only lost 2 players so far, but Pracy can find a couple kills here, and that's where things are looking dangerous. He spots out Regan. Isolated a fight, but Reese is going to be in a major advantage. Fraser will take him down. Vitalize find 14, Charlie, and Legates, they got to win 8 rounds in a row to make it level, and obviously 10 in a row to close it out in regulation. But Vitalize, they can taste the victory now, Charlie. 2 rounds away.
Yeah, it feels destined at this point. It feels like the way they played, they've more than deserved this. Fast 8. It looked like it's going to be a bit of a fast 8 pop there from Vitalize, but they do lose the first, that being Reese.
Yeah, brilliant from Rayman there. He's had a bit of a tough game so far, 7 and 18, but finding that pick, it's very, very important. Got a player down vents, we've got 2 in fact. Pracy going to be rotating off, but probably not the best weapon down towards B. It is that NMP9. Zeth finds Biggin as well, and there's Pracy falling. It's a 4 versus 3 now, and obviously Legates, they've invested everything into this round. K could find the bomb carrier. That's information gathered. They're aware of it. Fanui still holding the lines with the scout in hand. Misses the shot. Will go down to Zeth, and now it's a bit of a foot race here from K. Certainly they've heard his footsteps. 1 versus 4 now for K, and this is such an important round for him to win. He finds the first, but not the second. Fraser on low HP, able to take him down. Vitalize find 15, and Charlie, look at the money that Legates have to wield.
I mean, Fred, that started out as a man advantage. Yeah, that was Legates taking the charge in that round, and yet the second kill they found was right at the very end.
Yep.
They just didn't really have much more to say. Vitalize, they're on a different level right now. Legates, they just can't compete with it. Hopefully, on Overpass, they can. In theory, this one's not done, but in reality, Fred, I think it feels like it is.
Ooh, nice tag there from Fanui, but yeah, I feel like potentially a lot of the players know this is time to pack things up on Nuke. We go to Overpass. Ooh, Rayman finds a pick. Gets the second as well through the smoke. Biggin finds Zeth as well. It's a 2 versus 4 here. I say that. A lot more damage inflicted. Fraser gonna send himself through with the flash, but he swings before it pops, and now it's all on Reese. 1 versus 3, 5 HP. Legates, they're still in this one, but it's not gonna be easy. Reese finds 1 in this round, but the swing from Black Red completely catches him off guard. Pracy will find him. Legates, they need 8 in a row now.
Yeah, maybe it's not done just yet, Fred. Maybe there's a bit more that Legates have to say first.
You've got to imagine, though, Charlie, all it takes 1 little mistake here, and then we head to Overpass Legates. They've got to play these next 8 rounds to perfection.
Yeah, perfect levels of Counter-Strike. They'll have to try to find that Inferno form back, but it's been gone. Well, feels like all of Nuke, really.
Rayman, oh, he spots the leg of Earl, but he's a lot quicker on the trigger there. Lovely Deeg headshot. This is the investment here from Vitalize as well.
It's not too bad either. 3 AKs. That Deagle that has already found impact. And a Tech 9 of Zeth just holding any sort of ramp aggression that comes his way.
Regan's got a little bit of money in the bank. They could have potentially dropped over a Galil. I guess there's always a method behind the madness. There's always a kind of an understanding. But man advantage here for Vitalize. Earl has crossed.
I don't know if they're going to be aware of this.
Obviously with that slight gap.
Yeah, I think they held that after he already crossed. Yeah. It's going to be interesting. We'll have to see what the rotations do. Prazy towards the ramp room is going to have so much pressure coming his way. Just instantly drops down. Can't really fight this. Doesn't really want to fight this. Okay,
we'll find Earl eventually in secret. I think they're going to be wrapping Heaven, though. Fanui in a nice position. Does find 1 second as well. Regan gets the trade, though. 2 versus 3 and Vitalize fast up Heaven, but Biggin finds 1. 1 versus 3 for Zeph. We've seen him in the clutches before. Can he come alive again? Struggling to find the first. Trying to drop down. Does find Biggin. K's low HP. Pracey certainly got a lot of work to do in this round, but simple stuff. Nice positioning there from Pracey, aware of the fact that Zeph probably going to go back down towards B and Legates. They find their 8th.
Yes, still a long, long road back for Legates if there's any chance that they win this. It feels like they're hanging on for now, which is certainly positive signs. At least, hopefully, if we do go to that final map, it will mean Legates have a bit more to show us.
Fast drop down vent here.
Just playing for the bottom line rep. That's all they want. It's just the eco here. They want that $800 extra, and Reese, by the looks of things, is going to be getting that plant.
Pracey, fast rotate down ramp. Does find Reese. Okay, clearing things up on the A-bomb site. Regan will find 1. Has upgraded to that M4. Ooh, Fraser, that is unfortunate. How is he not hurt? Ooh, he finds one with a Glock. Fraser. Keeping things interesting. Regan just going to save this M4 into the next. Potentially can drop over an AWP to Fraser as well.
Yeah, might be able to with this M4 saved. Yeah, could if he does choose to.
Obviously does have to invest in armor still.
Yeah, he's already got a smoke grenade. Was an M4. No, don't even want the AWP. Don't even want to think of it.
Doesn't even want the M4 either. Drops that over as well.
Yeah, just play for the AKs here. 5 rifles on the side of Vitalize. Just 1 round, Fred. It feels like we've been here for a decent bit of time now, but still the gate 6 rounds away from closing things up and bring us to OT. I mean, it's slowly but surely getting closer and closer.
Yeah, but obviously, Charlie, as it gets closer, the pressure for both sides hits that new kind of level, and that's where we're going to see a couple mistakes coming through. Although Legates have played these rounds very comfortably, very strongly, mistakes can come through. Fraser does find 1 Biggin with the trade. It's a 4 versus 4 now, and Charlie, not a single defender down towards B. They can take a lot of control, and they can also get this bomb down. Pracey, first one down here. Molotov from Reese is looking good. There's still a gap for Pracey to work with, but they are just kind of quickly just skipping over that gap. Zeph finds K. Charlie, we've got the man advantage here for Vitalize. This could be it. Fanui rotates down, has spotted 1. Reese is in a very deep position here, and if he goes unchecked, he can find a couple kills quite comfortably. And Earl finds 1. Reese gets the kill. It's all on Biggin, and Vitalize, I think they know their success is coming through. Although a bit of a shaky performance on Inferno, Nuke could be over here and now, but Biggin runs out of ammo. The clutch nearly coming through, but Vitalize, 16-9, an exact replica of Legate's success, and they did it on their opponent's map pick. Overpass going to be coming through, Charlie, but what a second map this was, and a real great series things are kind of heating up to.
Yeah, I mean, I think you touched on it really well. It is looking like a really great series. Vitalize the start on Nuke that they had, Fred. Unbelievable. It really looked like they were massively well versed on that map. Legates can have a say.
Yep.
We were mentioning, if Legates have a good T side, they barely had a T side. Yeah. They didn't really have much to play with at all. Obviously, slightly slower at the end. Couldn't massively close it out as quick as they liked. Either way, Fred, it was 16-9. Yep. They're going to be more than happy with that victory. Overpass up next. All to play for there. And I think that's going to be a real joy to get to watch.
Yeah, it's going to be absolutely amazing. But we are just going to be jumping into a short break before that next map, Overpass.